Hey, Mike with Nerd Problems Gaming here, and today's video will be covering another huge Nintendo Switch eShop sale and 10 more great Switch deals to buy, so let's get into it. The first game on today's list is Twilight Monk. Now this is a hand-drawn action platforming RPG with some light Metroidvania elements, and the plot centers around the land being overrun by darkness, and you'll play as the final monk of Twilight as they go on a quest to save the world. I really like that the hand-drawn art style brings the world to life, and the exploration, as it feels like a combo of an old school RPG and exploring the world combined with some side-scrolling action. There's lots of items and different collectibles to find along the way that can power up your character. There's plenty of hidden secrets, and the game feels very robust, and it'll probably take you around 20 hours or more to complete. There's plenty of side quests and different challenges, and I think if you like action platformers and RPGs, this one's definitely worth checking out. The next game is Jitsu Squad. Now this is a fast-paced couch co-op beat-em-up game, and it has a bit of an over-the-top cartoon art style, but it works very well for the game, as you'll play as a team of heroes who try and stop an evil sorcerer and their ancient warriors from getting a legendary stone that's supposed to grant godlike powers. And so you'll go on a quest to stop them from destroying the world. Now to call this game fast-paced is almost a bit of an understatement, as it's quite hectic and there'll often be enemies all over the screen, and you'll be unleashing a ton of action and combos and special moves. There's multiple playable characters, all kinds of different weapons to find, challenging bosses, and really fun gameplay. And so I think if you like fast-paced beat-em-ups, I would definitely recommend this one as well. The next game is Bobble, Everybubble. Now this is a newer entry in the spin-off series to Bobble that is a fun puzzle game with addicting gameplay. And you'll play as little monsters that are trying to pop every bubble on screen before the ceiling collapses and drops on you. So it can get a little hectic, but it's a whole lot of fun. The game features several modes like a story mode, the Baron's Tower mode, which is more of an online competitive leaderboard scenario. And the game also introduces several power-ups to really mix things up, like bombs, arrow power-ups that kind of give you extended guidance in your shots, and much more. It also even includes a fun Space Invaders Bubble Bobble mashup mode, where it kind of combines both of those games together, and so that's really cool as well. It features local co-op up to 4 players, and I think if you like fun, fast-paced puzzle games, I'd recommend this one as well. The next game is the Cosmic Fantasy Collection. Now this is a collection of 2 classic JRPGs originally released on the TurboGrafx or PC Engine, and it has an anime style in a futuristic fantasy setting that features turn-based combat, and it was really ahead of its time, featuring anime cutscenes and voice acting as well. And it's really cool to get to experience these classics on a modern system. Now again, these aren't necessarily remasters or anything like that, it's just more of a re-release, so in some respects they're a little bit retro and could be a little bit clunky, and sometimes the translation isn't as optimal. But I think if you like that retro classic style JRPG turn-based combat, this is definitely a cool collection worth checking out. The next game is C.A.R.D.S RPG, The Misty Battlefield. Now this is a unique mashup of different RPG styles that combines a tactical RPG with a turn-based RPG and some deck building card battle elements as well. And you'll play as a leader of a war battalion as you battle across the land against a variety of enemies and other warring battalions. And combat is quite unique, where it again takes this turn-based approach, but also tactically moving your units around the boards, and then throughout combat it turns into more of a deck building battle system where you'll need to strategically choose cards to activate different abilities for your character in hopes of taking out the enemies. And again, this gets quite strategic as you'll share an overall deck for your party, and so you'll need to strategically best choose the right cards. The game has a skill tree that you can expand and build up as you level up your team, and as you explore the maps you can find a variety of items and equipment that you can equip on your characters to make them stronger, and you'll also find a variety of new cards along the way that you can further enhance your deck with as well. It's not an above and beyond standout to the genre, but I think if you're looking to scratch your RPG itch, this one could be worth checking out as well if you like what you see. The next game is Arkanoid Eternal Battle. Now this is a return of the iconic arcade classic that has some puzzle game elements but added in some new addicting game modes as well. And so it features updated visuals that really bring the game to life and several new modes to enhance the replay value as well. So you'll have the standard classic mode, but features a lot of new power-ups. There's a retro arcade mode where you can play through in kind of the arcade original style. There's a versus mode for 2 to 4 players. And there's also an eternal battle mode, which is kind of like a battle royale, where you'll be playing against 25 other players trying to reach the top. And so again, I think if you like the classic Arkanoid gameplay style and Brick Breaker style gameplay, you'll like this. Plus with the additional battle royale mode, it makes it even more fun and addictive as well, and it'd be worth checking out. The next game is Scarlet Tower. Now this is an addictive roguelike survival game similar to Vampire Survivors, but with a fantasy theme and a much more robust level up system for your characters. And so first and foremost, there's a ton of different characters to choose from in this game, and each have a really unique feel and play style to them with their own different sets of abilities as well as starting weapons. On top of that, there's over 70 weapons that you can find throughout the game and mix and match on your runs. There's a cool weapon fusion system where you can combine different weapons together, unlocking totally new fusion weapons. As I mentioned, there's all kinds of level up features where you'll have things like rune stones that can add buffs to your characters and additional power-ups. These can be upgraded and enhanced, and you can mix and match these for your characters as well. There's different equipment and armor that you can find for your characters. These can even be crafted and leveled up. There's a bunch of different skill trees, not only for your own characters, but shared skill trees as well. The gameplay is incredibly addictive and a whole lot of fun. And I think if you like Survivor style games, this one's worth checking out as well. The next game is Deathchron. Now this is a retro-inspired action platformer that has a similar feel to the classic Mega Man games or Blaster Master, or even one of the more recent modern titles, Panzer Paladin. And so you'll play as a young hero that's been transported to an alternate reality where robots have taken over the world, and you'll need to go on a quest with your battle mech to take down this threat and save the world. And so as I mentioned, you'll be controlling your mech for the most part, but you can actually jump out of the mech as your young hero can travel the land and reach hidden areas that your mech suit can't quite fit in, which again had more of that Blaster Master style feel to it. But I think it also focuses more on the retro feel, potentially maybe even a little too hard, where it does maybe lack some of the more modern quality of life features. But at the same time, I think if you like a challenge of old school action platformers and don't mind dying quite a bit as you play, this one's worth checking out as well. The next game is Elsie. Now this is a fast-paced action platformer that has some light roguelike elements and has a similar feel to the Mega Man X series. And so you'll play as a young android Elsie as she takes on a batch of androids known as the Guardians that were originally entrusted to protect the land, but now have gone rogue and are causing natural disasters all over the planet, and so you need to go on a quest to stop them. And so the gameplay focuses around action platforming and going through a variety of elemental-based biomes filled with challenging platforming and the many enemy types you'll need to face off against. And each area is topped off with a battle against one of these guardians, which is a whole lot of fun. There's a bunch of different weapon types that you can find throughout the game, as well as unique abilities that you can add to your character. And as you level up, you'll continue to unlock new powers to further power up your character throughout each run. I think if you like action platformers, are a fan of the Mega Man X series, and like those roguelike elements, you'll enjoy this game as well. The final game on today's list is Hades. Now, Hades is an addictive roguelike dungeon crawler where you'll play as the son of Hades that's trying to escape from the underworld, and you'll need to fight your way through the different layers of the underworld in hopes of escaping to the human world. And it features an engaging story that adapts to your previous runs and encounters with other gods. And along the way, you'll be seeking out the help of the other gods of Mount Olympus as you try and escape. It has fast-paced action combat with a lot of weapon options, plus upgrade paths based on different gods' blessings you'll pick up along the way. It's one of the most addictive and fun roguelike games in the genre, and it's at a great price right now, so if you haven't picked up Hades yet, I would definitely recommend it. Well, again, that wraps up our list of these 10 more great games worth buying in this latest Nintendo Switch eShop sale. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button as it really helps out the channel.
And another really cool way you can help support the channel is we actually partnered with a game store, Nutmeg Games. So if you like board games, Pokemon cards, Magic cards, and more, be sure to head to nutmeggames.com/nerdproblemsgaming and use our promo code nerdproblemsgaming at checkout. You'll get 10% off your order and help support the channel at the same time. So if you want to take advantage of those great deals, be sure to head there as well.
And if you like videos like this on video games, board games, and everything nerdy, check out one of our other videos here. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to get the latest updates of new nerd videos we put out. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.